show ever?
Broadway, I so rarely, I can't answer that. I only go off Broadway.
The one movie you could watch forever.
Gone with Wind.
If you had to sing karaoke to just one song, it would be?
Light My Fire.
Biggest guilty pleasure.
Star Magazine.
Complete the phrase. If I could tell my 20-year-old self just one thing, it would be?
Invest.
And complete the phrase. To be a leader or to be a mogul is?
To stay calm under fire.
All right. Are you going to stay calm under fire as we ask you anything?
I'll do my best.
All right, Naomi fans, Mogul fans, please log on now and ask any questions of Naomi that you wish to ask. That's on www.onmogul.com. Naomi is coming up live right now. Okay.
Cool. We're still
Those are
rolling.
so good.
All right.
Yeah, we're still rolling. Figured it'd be kind of fun to see you answering some fun questions.
Sure.
So our Facebook audience is starting to build, and
Hi, Facebook. Hi,
yay.
everyone.
Yay.
There isn't
Just a
a
local
pillow
audience.
of some kind.
let me find.
No problem if there isn't. I really like this question.
All right.
Well,
Yeah.
awesome. We like having you here so much. So hang on, I'm going to get you all logged in.
Thank you.
And we're going to let the questions brew a little bit. So Naomi, while we get everything queued up, so let's just ask, when you were at the beginning of your journey, did you ever think when you published your first work you were going to be where you are now?
No, absolutely not. I mean, you never think you're ever going to be where you end up, no matter who you are, I think. But I was definitely, I was so young when my first book was published. I was like 23, and I didn't have a clue about where I would be, 6 months from then, let alone, this very weird experience of having a book that happened to hit what a lot of people were thinking about around the world at one time.
Okay, so
Should be the second one. There it is.
okay, great.
Mhm.
There we go. We're going to open it up to the questions that everyone's been asking, and we'll just go in order in which they've been asking, and we're going to, I'm sure, get some other questions along the way. First question comes from Natasha. Do you think female authors get paid the same amount as male authors?
I love this question already. Natasha, if I'm addressing where is Natasha? Where do I look?
She's on the platform.
Okay,
on
so
Mogul.
if I look this way, is Natasha feeling connected to my interest in her question? I don't think there's any studies of that I've ever seen. But my guess is both more and less. More because actually more women read and buy books substantially, especially hardcover books, and there are more women writers published than male writers, believe it or not. So aggregate, probably more, but individually or on average, probably less. I did read something today that is germane to this, which is that men who ask for raises get raises 25% of the time more often than women who ask for raises do. And the reason I mention that is that women writers, it's a weird market because it's not like a job with a salary. Each book is negotiated for you, or you try to negotiate every book. And so I'm sure over time, when men negotiate, they get more, so probably male writers comparably situated are earning more, if that statistic is true, for writers. Sucks.
Okay, so we go to a question from Maddie. One sec. What was your favorite memory from working, in political circles? You did serve as a political advisee, right? Advisor. So, excuse me. So what were the biggest lessons that you learned?
That was another good question. So I was an informal advisor to the Clinton re-election in '96, and I was a formal advisor on women's issues and messaging with the Gore campaign in 2000. Such a long time ago. And I guess it was very exciting, especially the Gore campaign. Favorite. I can't say that the process in general, I had a favorite moment, because it was definitely seeing how the sausage is made, like seeing how disenfranchised ordinary American people are, you know, how few people sit in that inner circle, you know, how few interest groups affect outcomes. But what was exciting to me was, you know, Gore was a wonderful guy. He was a terrible candidate, but he was very, I hear you pausing, you can type that, but he was very idealistic. And so I remember this moment where, and this is very related to Mogul's mission, I think, and why I admire Mogul so much. He said that he was very, very committed to anti-poverty policies globally, and he said, and this was just a conversation behind the scenes that he and I were having. It wasn't like in front of an audience or, you know, in a speech. He didn't have to say it, in other words, but he said the reason he was committed to anti-poverty policies globally was not just that it was the right thing to do, but more strategically that those billion people now in poverty around the world were the future inventors and entrepreneurs and consumers and sort of, you know, builders and innovators of an advanced, profitable global civil society. So I was just so impressed that he kind of understood that, you know, you don't write off poor people, you invest in them, because he's right. Like, that is the, like, if I were placing a bet right now, I would place an investor's bet on Muslim women around the world, you know, in their 20s. Like, entrepreneurial, educated, aspirational, tech savvy, digitally oriented. Like, that is a stock that is just going to rise and rise and rise. And for him to have seen that, you know, 16 years before anyone else saw it, well, most people saw it, was really, it was just a moment where I thought, this is, I'm glad I'm working for this guy. I would like him to be president.
Cool. And for more answers, go to www.onmogul.com. Ask anything.
Naomi will be here for the next at least 30 minutes. Please ask away.